see on your TikTok that like you've had like supernatural encounters with like when you were into the new age thing
Yeah.
with just like demonic entities. I wanted to ask like more about that and how that all happened for you.
Yeah, so that's actually like the major part of my testimony is like as I was seeking God, I just wanted to know God. I wanted to know God, but I grew up with addict parents who um, were really abusive. I grew up in a really abusive home, and they called themselves Christians, and we would go to church sometimes, but there was a lot of fear. I
Mm,
never felt safe in church.
yeah,
So when I
same
grew
here.
up, yeah. So then when I grew up, I was like, I don't want to be a Christian. Like, I want God. I'm seeking
Mm,
God, but I don't want to be a Christian.
mm,
And so I looked really hard in every other religion. I was reading all these other religious books and trying all these other modes of spirituality. And I thought that it was all good. I thought it was all love and light, as they say.
yes.
And I didn't realize that these like spirit guides that I was connecting with were actually demons.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah. And so I had done a lot of psychedelics. I was really into psychedelics.
Wow.
And so this was like normal for me to see kind of spiritual things at this point, but I never thought that the scary things that I was seeing were demonic because at that point I didn't believe in Satan, I didn't believe in Jesus. I just thought there's like it's a universe out there and there's like
Yeah.
these spirits out there and so
Mm.
I thought, these were just random spirits. I didn't know they were demons at that point. But it didn't mean much to me until I saw one while I was sober. Be
Wow.
Yeah, because I had seen them while I was on psychedelics, which makes sense. You open the portal to the spiritual
Yes.
and you're
Yes.
hallucinating, like, it makes sense that you see and encounter these things. Um, but then when I saw one while being completely sober, that was that was, like, it for me. That was when I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay." I was like, well, and this one was actually scary. Like, the other ones I'd seen were, like, I don't know, like, alienoid kind of or, like, colorful with, like, horns.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
they weren't really scary. They were weird, but I wasn't afraid. This
Mm.
last one that I saw was a big, scary beast. He was the biggest of
Oh
ever.
wow.
Yeah, and I saw him I don't know if you've seen, like, in the movies, because the best way I can depict this is I think it's the movie Passion of the Christ,
Yes.
where you see, like, the babies, that their faces warp,
Yes.
you see that there's a
Yes.
demon in them. That's how I saw
Yeah.
this demon. It was in my ex-boyfriend, and I saw this demon in him, and his face warped. His face warped everywhere, everywhere. Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. There's another movie called Devil's Advocate, which also I don't know, like, this one isn't really like a biblical movie, it's just like a pretty worldly movie, but it depicts what that looks like too, these people without their faces shift and you see
Yes.
the spirit in them. So, yeah, so that's how I saw this demon, and then I was like, "Okay, I obviously did something to open portals to the demonic."
Yeah.
I didn't know,
Yeah.
was it the tarot cards, was it the psychedelics, was it this relationship? But I knew it was something. And so I
Yeah.
started seeking. I started at that point studying good and evil in all the different religions. And yeah, I was trying to figure out like how do you protect yourself against evil? And
Yeah.
I remember I went to like I did the new agey thing to do. I also went to like a Catholic church and got holy water and did all that and
Yeah.
ended up being like I finally realized I needed Jesus because
Mm.
there was nothing I could do. I couldn't fight this on my own. I couldn't take this on my own. While all the other religions might have had like a bit of truth of like, okay, this is how you protect yourself. This is how you don't open portals. There might have been
Mm.
like bits of truth to that and just like morality, having morals and
Yeah.
this. But it ended up being that, like, I knew I needed Jesus to do it with me, and that's how I ended up becoming a Christian. I did not wanna be a Christian, like, that's not what I was not after that, like, that was because my whole community was anti-Christian, like, that's where I was, but I found Jesus, and over time, I became a Christian because I became a Christ follower, because he
Mm.
literally saved me.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you for sharing that, you know. I'm so glad I asked.
Yeah.
Because I've been battling with just the fear of evil itself, not specifically with like you know, the demonic, but with abuse. Like I feel like I've seen so much evil in my life. It's just like you said, there's no amount of morality that can save you from that. We live in a fallen world, and it kind of makes me feel hopeless. It's like, okay, how much more evil am I going to encounter? And I remember, so this morning when I was reading the Bible and I was praying, specific thing God said to me was, "You need me. This isn't something you can do. Just relinquish control to me." So I find that really, really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course, it makes me think of in the Bible, I don't remember who was trying to cast out these demons, but they weren't able to get these demons out. And Jesus said, well, this type you can only cast out in prayer. This type,
Mm,
you can't do anything. You just have to talk to me. You have to talk to God about it.
mm, mm.
And that does, it feels like, okay, so I have no control. There's nothing I can
Yes,
do.
yes. Yes, seriously, you think that if you're a good person, you go to church, you're nice to people, nothing will happen to you. Like, but it just doesn't work that way. It's Satan's after us. We're in a war. That's the reality. And yeah, Jesus overcame it for us, but we need him.